Hey, this is John Mathis with Mansion Entertainment. We're an independent record label near Nashville, Tennessee, and we're going to talk about another topic for independent artists today, and that topic is going to be the subject of distribution, your music distribution. Now, the nature of distribution is still basically the same. In the olden days, distribution was a way to put out a product so music buyers can consume it. And there's a lot of components to that. There always has been. There still are. Distribution isn't an answer to making, or it wasn't an answer to making an artist successful in that regard, because always with distribution, especially in the past, a lot of marketing drivers had to go into place, tour schedules, making fans aware, music buyers aware, other marketing aspects from advertising to radio singles to just this whole push to make the market aware of the product and then making sure the product was in place through distribution for it to be consumed. That is still kind of the same in that regard. There's some new components, I think, to it in regard to distribution. So as an independent artist, I get that question a lot about distribution. I just want to make sure that artists know one of the primary natures of distribution isn't totally for you to be discovered. A lot of artists over the years have looked at it in that way, that if I could just get my product out, everyone will see it, I will be known. But that's not the case. You still have to do your part on driving your fan base, building your fan base, and driving a fan base and having a fan base, and then having product in place where it can be consumed in some form or another. Now in the past, big consumption, that was physical products, CDs, cassette tapes, way back in the day, vinyl albums, all of that. So what's changed about that is how that is consumed in 2018. For the first time this year, we've kind of crossed over to where the biggest consumption of music is streaming. As an independent label, we release a lot of our products out into distribution through what we would term as an aggregator. And that aggregator or that distributor takes our product, our components, and parses them out to all the outlets. iTunes, Amazon, every digital download outlet that's out there, all the streaming outlets, Spotify, Apple Music, just all of those entities as well. They also even distribute the music to platforms like YouTube. It'll be the album cover with this video and the music plays, and our distributor garners our revenue from the ads that run across those types of platforms when they're viewed or listened to. So all these different areas now that music is getting consumed digitally and revenues are being made, not just necessarily sales revenues, but revenues from parts of streaming, subscribership, revenues from ad-based listens to the music, those kinds of things. Now, as an independent artist, there are several options out there for independent artists. Some of the most known are like TuneCore, which is tunecore.com, cdbaby.com. Those are two that are pretty popular. The main difference between the two will be the fees. TuneCore in the past has not charged a percentage of revenue, but you do pay each year to keep your products up. So personally, on an independent level, I've used TuneCore in the past and just have to pay each year for that album to be there, or that EP, whatever the fee is, 30, 40, 50 bucks. With CD Baby, you will load your product, pay a one-time fee for that to be there, but then CD Baby will have a percentage of the revenue that you might make from that. That's the consideration for distribution as an artist, an independent artist, and those are some of the outlets. As always, I always say, do your research. I mean, the landscape of the music business changes so much and so fast, and trends change so fast. It's always good to get on your favorite search engine and kind of spend a few hours looking at different aspects of the subject of distribution and some of the things that are available, some of the outlets available. Look at all the options you have, all the outlets those are going to, those types of things. And then continue to build yourself as an independent artist and build your fan base, build your dates, and you will have a place to push your fan base to. Now, some of the cool things about streaming that's happening is, I speak with other independent labels at times, and I'm hearing stories of even traditional long-term artists that have been around since the 60s who now have their albums and their library out in the streaming world, that they are gaining fan bases from not just in their regions and their areas that they've traditionally been in, but across the world. So there is some discovery aspects with the new ways of distribution like streaming. If fans do like the music, add it to their playlist, or they tell their friends. And so there's a component there that does help independent artists in this day and time. But it's also a good tool. All those are good tools in regard to distribution for you to push your fans to consume your music and follow you. You know, another aspect about streaming that may be good in the long term as you build a library of content. In the past, if you sold a CD or if you even had a digital download, you know, you got your $10 and then that person can consume that music as much as they want. They may listen 1,000 times, they may listen 5,000 times if they're a lifelong fan, or 10,000 times. But with streaming, when that person, they're a streaming subscriber, you will always earn revenue every time they listen to your music from now until, you know, 10, 20, 30 years. That will always be there. And, you know, it may seem like a tiny drip in the bucket, but as you create a library of content that is out in distribution, and as you build a fan base and push more people to discovering your music, those drips do add up over time and collectively add up. You know, we see that with our numbers, with what we have out in distribution, and especially with streaming. This year, streamers that actually subscribe and pay for the service outnumber those that are just ad-supported streamers. We're seeing that in regard to what we have out in the market. So those are some highlights about distribution. If you have any questions or comments about it, be sure and put them in the comment section below. Also, be sure and subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber, as we will have more videos coming out in the near future on whatever topics and subjects you'd like to hear about. So until the next video, see you then.